And in other news for the NFL, we saw Nick Novak in that same Chargers-Broncos game had a chance to win it there in overtime. But earlier in the game, as you can see, he had to relieve himself on the field. I would hate to be the gentleman with the towel standing there, shielding him from God knows what.
Well, there's a lot of pride that goes into being on an NFL sideline. But I think once you're the guy holding the towel, protecting Nick Novak from the rest of America, and he's down there doing his business, giving Gatorade the time with all the sponsorships around him, that's tough. I think, and then you don't make the kicks to win the game.
Twice.
It'd be different if you're down there, okay, gotta pee, gonna do this, gonna go out there, bang the game-winning kick, and get out of here, and he does not do that.
You would think you would go into the tunnel. I know, obviously, the Chargers, they're not going to have any big plays in that game where you're going to score a 50-yard touchdown, and they're going to need you right away. So, immediate timeout, there's 20 of them during the game. Go and do it real quick.
You're the kicker. So what you need to do is, as soon as you do the kickoff, just walk to the tunnel, go do your thing, come back. If you're quick, it won't take very long. I think I remember I always watched the NFL Follies thing as a kid, and there was this thing with a ref who stopped the game, went to go use the bathroom, and came back.
Wow.
I don't know if he stopped the game, but the other refs are like, "What happened to you?" And he's like, "I had to go. I had to go, and that was it." It's hard to imagine that happening now, where a ref would just up and leave in the middle of the game and go do his thing, but. If you gotta go, you gotta go.
Something that to elongate this discussion even more.
Yeah, let's keep.
Something I've always found fascinating. We've done a couple games together.
Yep.
Where we've been there for two hours or so, and we have a break. But I've never had to do that during a game, whether it be softball I have, but what volleyball no, a basketball game no. And you look at some of these football games that go like in the 5 overtimes where the second half. It takes just, it's 3 hours for the second half.
Yeah.
And you think about that, but it never really
happened. I think I was thinking about that before the Nick Novak thing. Like, thinking about, okay, you do a basketball broadcast, you got the 25-minute pregame show, and parts of that are taped.
Yep.
And then you've got, so maybe you could, go to the bathroom there. Then you got the 20-minute in the first half. You can't really go then. You've got 15-minute halftime. You might have one tape spot in there.
And of those 15 minutes, you probably got a 5-minute window.
You got to fill most of that halftime with you talking. Then you got second half. You're not going then. And then you've got a 25-minute post-game show where you're again in charge of all that content, and that adds up. That adds up to be quite the time.
That's why we have cups here for us.
Yep, so, we have the cups. Yeah,
we are well. I went twice while we talked.
Jeez,
I was well prepared.
That was painful.
Painful indeed. Something that was painful for Plaxico Burress a few years ago was when he shot himself with his own gun in the leg, and cost him quite a few months in behind the bars, about a year and a half. But then Stevie Johnson. I
always entertaining Stevie Johnson.
I liked him before, but now he's vaulted to probably...
Pretty hard about it, and that's pretty funny stuff.
I don't know anything that tops that for me as far as touchdown celebrations go.
I always thought before he became just a cuckoo man, Chad Ochocinco had great stuff where he did like CPR on the football, and that was funny. But now it's just like you're drawing too much attention to yourself. Whereas Stevie Johnson, this is like, okay, people don't talk about me unless I'm like. Criticizing God on Twitter. So then he catches the touchdown, goes with the gunshot.
Does a little dance, and then like he's in the club, and then boom, right in the leg, and then he just falls down, gets up, and then falls down again. I mean...
That was pretty funny. That was...
It was.
I can't think of a recent one. Now, apparently Colt McCoy did the T-bowing thing
I don't
after
know
a touchdown.
If that was him mocking him, or
I don't know. Or maybe he was just being there...
Unintentionally.
I think Colt McCoy's pretty religious. So
yeah.
That could be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
As am I.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Anyways, we'll talk about our shopping and our Thanksgiving weekend coming up next.